Hello and welcome. This is Christina Hills with the Website Creation Workshop, and welcome to this free webinar training on the simple truth about succeeding online. And what I'm going to be doing today is going through this PowerPoint visual presentation with slides and visuals to explain these concepts. And then I will be taking questions at the end. But what I want to do is I want to start out with the big picture orientation. That's what this call is about. The big picture overview of the simple truth of building an online business. So first off, let's just start with who am I, because I know some people are here on the call and they have never been on a webinar with me before. Well, my name is Christina Hills, and I am your WordPress coach and teacher, and I teach a program called the Website Creation Workshop, which we're going to open for registration in just a couple of weeks. And for more than 9 years, I've taught over 2,500 coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, healers, and business owners how to quickly and easily create a website in WordPress. And I don't have a poll for this, but if you could just type in the chat, are you a coach? Are you a consultant? Are you a speaker? Are you an artist? Are you a healer? Just type in that question box, and we see a coach, business coach, consultant, writer, speaker, astrologer, author, therapist, copywriter, trainer, speaker, art gallery owner, musician, performing artist, Reiki practitioner, seeker, Marv says human being, author, publisher, lifestyle blogger, homesteader, jack of all trades. Okay, we've got a whole range of folks here on the call. Well, I just want to let you know I've been teaching website building for 9 years, but before that I was in the Hollywood special effects industry, and the most famous film I worked on was Star Wars Episode 1, not the one that came out in the 70s, the one that came out in the mid-90s. And it was a great career, but I wanted to become an entrepreneur so that I could work from home and spend time with my daughter Maggie. And the other thing I like about being an entrepreneur is it gives me time to work on creative projects. And I'll show some more stills from some creative projects I did with my daughter a few years ago. But let's just go ahead and dive right into the content today. And let's start out about talking about you. Okay, so this is you, and you're pretty smart. And you want a big picture of building an online business. You see, when we work on the internet, it's all very ephemeral. You can't quite touch it. So this presentation today will help you get this big picture overview. So first off, when you're building an online business, your website is at the center of that, of your activity online. And then you have various other things to draw people to your website, right? Like social media. So here we have social media, we have in-person networking, we have email marketing, shopping carts and selling online, having people go and visit your location in person, and also phone work. So I'm going to be going through these different aspects today of building an online business. So at the center of it is your website, and in the top we see these arrows coming in, right? So you use social media to drive people to your website. You go to networking to drive people to your website. You do email marketing to drive people to your website. Then from your website, you want to have a call to action of having either people call you or having people visit your store location or having people shop online. So I want to take this poll. Do you currently have an online business? So yes, no, or I'm in the process of building it. And there is no right answer or a wrong answer. I just kind of want to get an idea of where you're at. Do you currently have an online business? So if you joined us late, you can just click on the screen to take this poll, and I'll share the results I'll share the results with you. So I think I will close the poll, share the results, and as I expected, most of you either don't have it yet or are in the process of building it. So let me hide that. So you are in the right place here today. All right, so let's come back to you, right? So here you are, and you're pretty smart, and you got your website. But let me just sort of clarify, what is your website? So your website is your home, and your home has an address on it. So when you say, I have a website, sometimes people say I have a website, and then I go look and they don't have a website, they just have a domain name. So your domain name is what connects to your website, right? So when you buy a domain name, it's maybe $8 to $10 a year, and when you get your web hosting, that might cost you $5 a month to $8 or $10 a month, something like that. So let me show you this example. The website creationworkshop.com, that is my website name, that is my domain name, and here's a screenshot of my site. I also have christinahills.com, which is the name associated with this website. And websites are viewed in a browser. So what is a browser? Well, a browser lets you connect your computer to the internet. And this might seem obvious, but I just like to cover it in case there's some folks who are not quite clear. So people will view your website in multiple browsers. So why am I talking about browsers? Well, if you're building an online business and that's how people are visiting you and seeing you, you want to have multiple browsers so people can look at so you can see how people are seeing your site. So here's my site in Chrome. Here's my site in Firefox, and they all look very similar. Here's my site in Safari, and here's my site in Internet Explorer. So my first question about browsers is, do you currently use more than one browser? So yes, no, or I don't know what a browser is. Well, hopefully, because I just gave the explanation, you'll know now. But do you currently use more than one browser? So I just want to get an idea. I'm going to close the poll in a minute, so go ahead and click on the screen. All right, and this is great. Most of you do, but a third of you don't use more than one browser, and 2% would sort of fall into that category. So now my next poll is, what browser do you mainly use? And as you can tell, I like interaction on my calls. So what browser do you mainly use? Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, or something else. And most Mac people use Safari most of the time. But Chrome is really, really popular. Firefox, Internet Explorer. And I'm going to close this poll and share the result. So half of you use Chrome. Now that is really interesting. My main browser is Firefox, but I should probably switch to Chrome. I do use both. And yeah, sometimes Safari gives people some problems. All right, so the reason why I talked about browsers and the reason why I bring this up is because when you have an online business, you need to have more than one browser. So you should think about getting a second browser. Now, if your first browser is not Chrome, I'm going to recommend that you get Chrome because it works well for Macs or PCs. But let's move along because I got a lot more to cover. So when building a website, you want to create your site in WordPress. And this is not a training specifically on WordPress, but I just want to cover what is WordPress. So WordPress is the software that runs your website, and it is comprised of these different elements. So your database, which has all your content, your theme, that's your design, your plugins, right? These are extra bits of software code, and your media library. And I'm going to, in a couple weeks, do a webinar just on WordPress, so you'll want to, watch for that in your email. But I just want to give you sort of a broad strokes of what are behind the scenes in your WordPress site. And people ask me, well, how do you get your stuff into WordPress? So when you build a website, a WordPress website, the way you get things into WordPress, so things meaning, pictures, PDFs, is by uploading and downloading. And this might sound kind of rudimentary, but I just want to give this little explanation anyway, just to make sure people are on the right page. And when I stop hearing people using the terms incorrectly, I'll stop including this in my presentation. So I love this little diagram because it gives you a great visual. So when you are downloading something, it means you're going to the internet, which is that little cloud in the sky. You're getting something and you're downloading it to your computer, like a free PDF that someone's going to offer you. And I will be giving away a PDF after this call. You'll probably get that in your email tomorrow. That's something you're going to want to download. Uploading is when you're taking something from your computer and uploading it up to the computer, to the internet in the sky. For example, if you take pictures with your camera, you plug your camera into your computer, you are then uploading. So the internet works by downloading things to your computer and uploading things to the internet in the sky. And that is sort of the back and forth of how things get to your website. So with a WordPress site, you want to log in on the internet, right? And the way you log in, and I'll go more into detail in this in another webinar, but you've got a login screen and you log in, and then you are editing your web pages online. You're working directly online, and then you're viewing your web page. So this is the admin view of your website, and this is the outside view, right? So this is outside what the world sees, inside what you see. All right, so I got another little poll. I got a lot of polls today. I want to know, do you already have a website? Yes, and it's in WordPress. Yes, but it's not in WordPress. Yes, but I'm not sure what it is, or no, I don't have a site yet. And whatever your answer is totally fine and totally correct. So you can just click on the screen. I think I'll close this poll because I want to keep things moving. Closing the poll, sharing the results. So half of you about have a WordPress site. 15% have one, but it's not WordPress. 3% are not sure what it is, and 34% don't have a site yet. Awesome. Well, this training today will apply to people who have a WordPress site and for people who don't have a WordPress site. All right, let me keep going. So let's talk more about building your online infrastructure. And I'm coming back to this diagram because this is sort of my command central, and this is how I think about sort of my business. And when I'm thinking about working on my business, I'm thinking about all of these different aspects, right? Social media, in-person networking, email marketing, phone consultations, in person if you have an in-person business, or sending people to to buy something from your site. And what I'm going to focus mainly today on is the email marketing piece and the selling online piece. So let's first talk about email marketing. So I've got another poll. So if you have a website already, are you collecting email signups? So if you have a website already, are you collecting email signups? So some people are, some people are not. Just gives me an idea of where you're at. So just click on the screen and I'll close this poll, share the results. 26% are, 14% it doesn't apply, 59% want to. Okay, cool. So let's talk about building an email list. Building an email list. So in order to build an email list, you need to have an opt-in page. And what I'm going to do is explain the process of how email marketing works. And let me just pause a little bit. Am I going too fast or too slow, or is this pacing good? I don't have a poll, just type in the chat. Okay, people are saying the pacing is fine. Okay, most of you say the pacing is fine. Okay, good. What I'm going to do now is explain with this visual diagram the process of how an opt-in box works, because I know about 60% of you want to have an email opt-in, and by understanding this process, it's going to make it easier for you to accomplish your goals. So I always like to focus on the big picture of what are you trying to do, and once you understand that, zeroing in on the technology to make it happen will be a lot easier, because I'm all about empowering business owners to be able to take their online business in their own hands, in control, and not be dependent on hiring other folks. All right, so let me walk you through this diagram. A prospect visits your website. So they come to your site. A prospect is the term for somebody who has not bought from you yet. They find the opt-in goodie, and I'll talk about that. They enter their name and email and they click submit. Once they do that, they get to an opt-in thank you page, which is something you did in order to attend this call today. At the same time, their information goes into either your shopping cart or your email marketing database, and then that looks up and then sends you either one or a series of email messages. So this all, once you set it up, this happens automatically behind the scenes. Somebody comes, they opt in, they get to a thank you page, the info in the background goes into the database, and then it sends out emails to the prospect who just opted in. So here's an example of an opt-in page, just a few different kind of layouts for opt-in pages. Here's another one at websitecreationclass.com. You can also have opt-ins on your main site on your sidebar. So here I've got one for a free report and video, right? So someone will see this, and this is on every page of my site. And then once the person opts in, right, so this is the opt-in box, now they go to this thank you page. And this thank you page has a video they can play, or they can click to download the PDF. Here is the opt-in that I did for today's call, and this probably looks familiar. You clicked to register for the webinar, and then a pop-up box came. And this, in case you don't know the term, this is also referred to as a light box, where something comes up and it's bright and everything else in the back is dark. So then you enter your name and email, and then you get to this thank you page. Congrats, you're registered, and you can add it to Google or iCalendar or Outlook, and you can print it out. All right, so that should look pretty familiar. So let me pause and have you think about, what is your opt-in goodie? So I had you opt in for this free webinar training, because I like to do webinar trainings, but you might want to have a different kind of opt-in goodie. All right, and so these are the different kinds of opt-in goodies you could have. You could have a PDF report. You could have an audio. You could have a video. You could have a checklist. You can have, as Linda's saying, a 5 tips list. You could have resources. You could have kind of a mind map or a process map, or maybe tools. So there are a lot of different things that you could have for your opt-in goodie. And so that was covering the email marketing part. So let's talk about selling your products or services from your website. So that is this part here. That is when people come to your website, they're then going off to sell. All right, so here's another poll. If you have a website already, are you currently selling online? If you have a website already, are you currently selling online? And you can just type in yes, you are, or no, not yet, or no, because it doesn't apply to me. And that's reasonable. Lots of consultants, it doesn't apply to them to sell online. Or I've got lots of authors who are not selling their books directly from their site. They're selling them from Amazon. All right, I'm going to close this poll and share the results. So most of you are not, and that's exactly what I expected. Okay, and let's talk about the process of selling online. So I'm going to talk you through this, and then I'm going to show you some screenshots. How a product is sold online. So this is similar to opting in. So the customer or the potential customer visits your website and they find a product for sale and they click on the Buy Now button. Then that takes them to a shopping cart order form. And so this shopping cart order form could be part of your site or could be a shopping cart system you have connected, and it looks like it's your site, and essentially they're still on your site. Once they enter their credit card information, they get to a post-purchase thank you page, right? So it's a similar kind of thank you page. At the same time, the money goes into your merchant account or PayPal account. And a merchant account is like a funny bank account. It's like a special kind of bank account. So the money moves over there, and then this is when they're hitting the submit button. The info goes into your shopping cart account database, because you're building a database of customers. It then looks up and sends them an email receipt and any other autoresponders that would follow up. And if you've purchased anything from me before, you would have gotten an email receipt and at least one message as a customer. So here's an example of a sales page that I've done. So the sales is called a sales letter. Sales page, and it's a type of web page that doesn't have any top navigation or side navigation. Scrolling to the bottom of the sales letter, you would find a product to buy, the order, and you might have a full pay or a payment plan. And then when they click, right, so they're still on my site, so this is like the top of the site, this is the bottom, and then they get to an online order form. And so that has my branding, but it is actually technically on my shopping cart system. And it's very secure. And they enter their email info and their credit card info. And then my thank you page leads people right into a members area. So they would pick a username and password and they'd get right into the members area, because that is how I deliver my training, is in a private members area. So what kind of product do you want to create? And this is similar to the email opt-in that I talked about. When you are creating a product, you want to think about your program format. Okay, so of course you want to think about what is the outcome they're going to get, what is the solution you're providing people. But I want you, in my training today, right now, is to focus on what kind of format would you be most inclined to deliver. And I'll have people type in the chat which ones they would feel most inclined to deliver. So usually we like to, give and receive in the same way. But right now this is, what do you feel compelled to do? So are you good at making videos? Are you good at making PDFs? Are you good at making audios? And you might be good at all of these. Are you great at putting together checklists? And digital downloads sort of falls in the same kind of category. Community forums. Some people are good at running private community forums, like a Facebook group. And in my training program, I have a private Facebook group. Are you good at delivering live webinars or teleseminars? Do you have lots of resources like a Rolodex? Like you may be a consultant who's worked in a business industry for years and you've got a huge Rolodex of resources. Are you good at putting together mind maps? Some people like mind maps. And or software tools. So if you could just, there's no poll here. This is what do you feel like you're good at creating? Just type in the chat, and I'm seeing a lot of PDFs, checklists, videos, digital downloads and videos, audios. Some people are good at audios. PDFs tend to be the most common. MP3s, a mind map, I'll just explain what that is. I don't have a visual of a mind map. It's just a visual way of explaining a concept. This sort of looks like a mind map. It's a process diagram. It's a process diagram is a mind map. Okay, so let me move on. So this is what are you good, or what do you feel like you're good at creating? And yeah, a mind map is similar to an infographic. So in fact, I could add infographic to here. All right. I want to know, how do you like to learn? Right? Not what do you think you could create? And I didn't list all of them. I just listed the main ones. But how do you, listening to me right now, how do you like to learn? And in a way, this is a little biased because I'm on a live webinar right now, so chances are the people who showed up are the ones who like live webinars. And Kelly is saying hands-on. Yeah, I didn't include that, but hands-on is a great way to learn, Kelly, and I have actually incorporated that into my website creation workshop. But I'm not gonna go into that too much today. All right, so I will, and then there's other. So if you've typed in other, you can, if you selected other, you can just type in the chat. And yeah, Lorna says all really, which is true. All of them, many people like all the different modalities. All right, let me close this, share the results. So no surprise, folks who are here live like the live webinars, with videos coming in as a close second. All right, so let me keep going. Whoops. What do you need to sell directly online? So what do you need to sell online? And I'll leave this up so that you can write this down. So these are the different aspects that you need to sell a product or service online. You need a website. You need a product or a program, right? So you need, what is the thing that you're going to sell, right? So your product needs a title and a description of what it is. You need some kind of shopping cart system, and there's many different shopping cart systems, but you need some kind of shopping cart system. You need a payment processor, right? So the shopping cart system, that is, like I use Marketer's Choice Online. That's where the credit card info is collected. But then you need some kind of payment processor who's going to process that credit card and put it into your bank account. So you might have a merchant account or PayPal. Then you also need some kind of email system to email your customers who just bought from you. So you need some kind of email system, and it may be part of your shopping cart system, or it might be something separate. Then a fulfillment house if you sell physical products. And I'm just going to pause, just type in the chat. Are you familiar with the term fulfillment house? Just type yes or no. I just want to know if everybody knows, heard that term before. So most yeses and a couple of nos. Okay, good. I will explain it. A fulfillment house is like your warehouse, but if you're a small entrepreneur, you don't have to have a whole shipping department. Fulfillment house is a company that when somebody orders your CDs or workbooks or whatever you're selling, they will ship it out for you. So they fulfill what you've sold. So if you're selling physical products, or maybe you're a coach and you want to send people who sign up for your coaching, maybe you want to send them a workbook or some printed materials. I'm not saying coaches have to do that, but that's just an example. That's what a fulfillment house is. If you're not selling anything physical, you don't necessarily need that. And Amazon is kind of its own thing if you're an author, so that in a way it's a fulfillment house, but it's sort of its own thing. Then if you are selling digital products, you need a method of delivering the digital products. So maybe it's a membership site or WordPress, or you've got a digital download page. So when they get to this part of after they've bought, right, how are you delivering? So this is the delivery part. Delivery part. How are you delivering it? Now, if you're doing, and this call doesn't include affiliate marketing, but I think I just want to touch upon it now. If you are an affiliate marketer or you're doing affiliate marketing, you don't need all of this because you're selling other people's products. If you're an affiliate marketer, you would need a website. And I can go into this more when we get to the Q&A part. All right, so those were what you need to sell online. Now let's talk about getting people to visit your site, right? Traffic. So this is all traffic. So there's different kinds of traffic. You've got social media traffic coming to your site. You're going to networking events and meeting people in person. So you've got that kind of traffic coming to your site. Just you've handed out a business card. You're sending emails to people who already know about you. Or you've got a colleague recommending you, and that from that email is sending people to your site. So let's first focus on the social media. So social media, these are the big ones. There's lots of other little ones, but these are the biggest ones. Facebook, Google+, YouTube, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram. These are all different social media sites that you are interacting with people on, leading them to your site. So you want to think of social media as a party, and there are different parties going on. You know, LinkedIn is more for business. Instagram, lots of young people use it. Twitter, you got celebrities and news outlets using Twitter a lot. Pinterest is very visual. You know, each one has its own culture, but from each one, you're wanting to send people to your site. All right, so here is my poll. This is my last poll for the day. How active are you on social media? And any answer is the correct answer. If you're hardly ever on it, that's fine. If you're not on social media at all, that's fine. There's lots of different ways to make money online. What's great about social media, and you can just click on the screen, is it's free. It's free. It's not like paid ad traffic. It's free, although they do have paid ad traffic. So just kind of getting an idea of how active people are on social media. All right, I'm going to close the poll and share the results. Most of you are on multiple times a day. Some are on once a day, once a week, hardly ever, or not at all. So we can see it's all over the board here. So let's hide that. So I've given you very broad strokes of what an online business does. It allows you to make money while you are playing. It gives you more time for your family, lets you donate to nonprofits, and I donate my time and money to my daughter's theater work, and this is a screenshot of her in one of her theater groups. And by having an online business, it frees you up for other creative projects. And here are some stills from some creative projects I did with my daughter and husband. This was a Little Red Riding Hood spoof. This is Alice in Wonderland, and another shot from Alice in Wonderland. And this is another one from Little Red Riding Hood. Now, I just want to let you know that my next event is coming up. I'm going to be teaching a winter website creation workshop program, and I'm going to be doing a webinar specifically on WordPress. So this was a very broad webinar. I'll be doing another one specifically on WordPress. You should get a follow-up email. That is the link to go ahead and sign up for that webinar. If you, and I'm going to be offering it a couple of different times, but I will be teaching the website creation workshop for winter 2017. You'll get some emails about that, and I am ready to take questions.
Okay. Susan was asking, what merchant account do you use?
I use First National, which is also called TSIS. I signed up for it years ago. You might want to look into a company called Stripe. It might be cheaper for you. It really depends upon the volume that you're doing. But I use Authorize.net and First National.
Okay, and then I think it's Saloma was asking, is it better to sell from your site or ClickBank?
ClickBank is fine. ClickBank is, it's kind of, it's like PayPal. It's a different kind of, I'm just making a note. So ClickBank is a different kind of solution. So some people sell with PayPal, Stripe, ClickBank. I use Marketer's Choice. So ClickBank is a fine way to go. What's nice about ClickBank is they handle a lot of the back-end money stuff. So if you have affiliates, ClickBank handles everything. They handle returns. So you should just look and see if it applies to you. I think ClickBank is only for digital products, but since I don't use ClickBank, you'll have to check into it.
Okay, RuPaul was asking, is a squeeze page different from an opt-in page?
No, they are the same thing. Squeeze page, I'm just making a note, and opt-in page are the same thing, just two different terms.
Okay, Lorna says, how easy is it to build your own website? Is it expensive?
Lorna, it all depends. I'm going to be teaching a class on how to build your own website in a couple of weeks, I believe. You'll have to watch your email. I teach people how to do it themselves. If you hire out is where it gets very expensive. So, but why don't you watch your email and come to my free call I'm going to be doing. And Joanna, maybe you've already done that. Put the plural, webinars, plural, websitecreationclass.com /webinars. So that was my,
And
all right. Next question, and I can go back to slides if people need me to refer back to some slides.
Okay. Kelly was asking, how do you pick a theme and what plugins do you use? Would that be something you would cover on the other
Yes,
webinar that you're doing?
yes. So you
Okay.
should come to my next webinar. Joanna, can you put the updated link in there? And we will be emailing that
Yes.
out. Oh, and don't forget, we are going to email out a PDF resource guide that's going to go with this.
Okay. Linda was asking, do you do a webinar on Pinterest?
I don't do a webinar on Pinterest. I use Pinterest a little bit, but I don't do Pinterest a lot.
Okay. Um, Ingrid was asking, what email system do you recommend?
In my PDF, which you'll get, I list different email systems. So I'm using Aweber. There's also Entreport, and oh, now I'm drawing a blank. So watch your email for that PDF resource guide. I'm currently using Aweber. But
Okay.
there's lots of different systems, and I list the major ones in my PDF resource guide.
Okay. Salima was asking, have you used Shopify?
I personally have not used Shopify, but I know people who do use it and are happy with it. So I think they have a good reputation. So you'll just have to look and see what um, if it applies to you and how the pricing is.
Okay. Lorna says, can I use a website to sell things I've made, or do I have to go through a main one like Eddie?
Eddie, does she mean Etsy?
Uh, it might,
Etsy,
yes,
yes.
Etsy. Okay.
Yes, you can use a website to sell things that you've made. So you don't have to use Etsy. I've never used Etsy. I know it is popular. You could, I mean, there's different ways you can do things. You have your, here, so let's see if I can go back. Don't get dizzy as I go back. Okay, so you could have your website and then click to wherever you want people to buy, and then at the end of the buying process come back to your website. Or this could be all on your website. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. Um, Marvy was asking, when will the website creation workshop start?
Um, we are going to be next week. I'm going to start promoting lead up to it, and we'll be promoting the webinars for my website creation workshop. So it's starting. It starts as soon as you sign up, or it can start as soon as you sign up. So it'll be. What's the date of our first one? I don't have that off the top of my head.
I
The
believe, yeah, I believe that's January 25th.
January 25th. Yes. So that's when registration is going to begin. And January 25th, I'll be doing a webinar on the first day registration opens to go into, more depth. It'll be a webinar similar to this, very visual, but it'll be just focused on WordPress.
Okay. Nellie says there's a company saying we don't need a website if we have a sales funnel. Is there any truth to that?
Um, if you have a sales funnel, that is having a website. So that's just, I think I know what they're talking about. Um, you need a place for people on their browser to go and buy from you. So you can buy a sales funnel system, or you can make your own website. I have sales funnels. I also have my own website. So a sales funnel is a form of a website, but you need a place for people to go.
Okay. Gert was asking, do you have any recommendation for selling software? For example, do I need a call center, a help desk?
Um, for selling software. She wants to sell software. Does she need a call center or a help desk? Now that is interesting because I don't have, I'm going to make a note, help desk. So let's talk about what is a help desk. As your business grows, and I see other questions that are coming in that they're not pertaining to today's training, so we want to keep the questions big picture pertaining to today's training. So a help desk is an email system where you've got multiple people responding. So for example, I have support@websitecreationworkshop.com. That is my help desk. If I only had one virtual assistant or if it was just me, I wouldn't need a help desk system. But because I have multiple people working for me at different times of the day, I have a help desk system. So help desk is really just customer service. And what is customer service? It's really an email address. What was the other part of that question?
Do you have any recommendation for selling software? Do I need a call center?
So a call center, again, is somebody answering the phone. So if you're starting out new, the call center could be you, where they're calling and leaving you messages and you call back. So do you need to hire a call center? That really depends upon how big your business is, how much money you have, how many calls you expect to get. So my big picture training today is mainly aimed at the solo entrepreneur. And so call center, that's getting larger, which is a great way to think. But you can start out easy with just having a phone number.
Okay. And then Nancy was asking if I want to offer online trainings through my website, what kind of platform do I need? I've been told it would be very expensive, but I wonder if there are public options I could post them on, but still charge clients to access the training.
Great question. So Nancy wants to have online trainings through her website. So what kind of platform does she need? Let me go to this slide. So you need a website to explain what your offerings are, right? The product or program is going to be her online training. So what kind of platform does she need? Coming down here to the delivery, so how are you going to deliver that online training? Now you can deliver it in a members area, which is what I do. So when people buy my programs, they then pick a username and password and they get access into my membership site area. I do it in WordPress. So you can do the same thing, or another way to deliver an online training, which I've known multiple people who do this, is they send emails out. So your online training could be delivered via email. So that's another way to do it. But you definitely want to have the membership part of it. So let me back up. So I've got a sales letter. This will be updated to have a winter theme. You get to the bottom and you select the payment plan. You get to the online order form, so you'll need some way to collect payments. And then the thank you page is the inside my membership area. So hopefully if you need any clarification on that, Nancy, just say so. And let me get to this slide. All right, next question.
Okay.
These are good
Oh,
questions. These are great.
okay. Brent says, is your WordPress webinar workshop good for those with an established site rather than building from scratch, looking to get more information on making changes to WordPress themes using widgets, plugins, etc.?
Great question. So again, in a couple weeks I'll be doing that webinar, but what I can say is my training applies to people who've never had a website or people who have a website but it's not WordPress and they want to convert it to WordPress, or it's my training in a couple of weeks, a webinar, another live webinar training, is for people who have a WordPress site, somebody else built it for you, but you don't know how to control it and you're tired of paying someone else to do it. So, um, so it
Okay.
applies to, so my website creation workshop course, which will be opening in a couple of weeks, applies to the different kinds of people. So depends. If you're more advanced, then you might want to email me and we can give you some private guidance.
Okay. Bobby says, how much time does it take to build your own website? Time commitment after learning from you.
So the time commitment really all depends upon you. For some people, learning how to download something is very new. For other people, they know how to download. They've been downloading all the time, and it's a lot easier. So I don't have a stock answer for how long it takes. Some people, as they're building their site, so I know a lot of people on this call have never had a site before, but some people have already been writing their about us, their how to work with me. So it depends how much writing you've done for, how much thinking you've done about your site. Some people are like, I want a site, I'm a coach, and they've not written anything. Other people have. So it all depends. There's no stock answer. With my training, I've had people in a weekend build their site. I've had other people take 3 months. So other people take a month. So it all depends upon you. So sorry, I
Uh,
couldn't be more specific, but it really does depend.
okay, sounds great. Becky says, I need help getting prospects to visit my website. Where do you start doing that?
You need help getting prospects to visit your website. Where do you start doing that? So that was, so getting prospects to your site. So this is getting traffic to your site screen. Social media is one way to get prospects to your site. Networking in person is another way to get prospects to your site. And emailing, if you've got friends who might email for you on your behalf, that would be another way to get prospects to your site. You can also buy ads. I didn't cover ads. I just wanted to cover free traffic, but you can pay for ads and get people to your site.
Okay, Bob says you're a gem.
Oh, thank
And
you.
then Joy was asking, is it better to have a paid host for our website?
A paid host for yeah, I mean, that is all that I teach, and I'll go into this more when I do my specific WordPress training, but I recommend paying for your web hosting. And it's not expensive, 50 bucks a year, 100 bucks a year.
Okay. Diane says, if one would like to offer online courses for sale on our website, do you recommend any systems like Udemy or something like that?
I've heard good things about you, and I don't know if it's Udemy or Udemy. I don't know how people pronounce it, but that is another way to sell your digital goods is on Udemy.
Okay. And then, let's see here. Salima was asking, what has been the best way for you to drive traffic to your website?
Let's see. Well, I've been building my email list slowly over the years, so I use my email list a lot. I do social media a lot. I use all three. I have been doing Facebook ads. Facebook ads can get very expensive. So I don't recommend Facebook ads or other ads if you're just starting out. I've also done newsletter ads where somebody's email newsletter I've included in there. So affiliates, I have affiliates sending me traffic, and this call today didn't cover affiliates, but that would be something good to add for the future. I've talked a little bit about affiliates. But it's really a combination, even down to your email signature. If everybody knows what an email signature, have the link to your website in your email signature. I like social media a lot because people are there. And also networking is also good. If you can speak in person, that's a great way to get traffic to your site.
Okay, and Susan said she super loves your photos.
Oh, thanks.
And then Ingrid was asking, what is the difference between WordPress and Squarespace?
Um, Squarespace is a different platform. It's not something I recommend. I didn't cover that today, so I don't have off my fingertips the differences, but Squarespace, you'll hit limitations. With WordPress, you don't have any limitations.
Okay. Janie was asking, can you explain sales funnel?
Sales, I don't have a diagram. So she's asking, what is a sales funnel? I don't have a diagram for what is a sales funnel.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, I can go back, hold on. When she asked, I was thinking of kind of a complex funnel, but this is a funnel. This is a diagram of a funnel. People coming to your site, them buying, and then getting to a thank you page. What would be in addition would be sort of an email to a customer, then a customer comes to your site. So this is the part of selling online for the sales funnel. If she could ask more specific questions, that would help. So I might have to follow up. She might have to follow up with a follow-up question.
Okay. If Janie wants to type in anything else, she can do that. And then Steve was asking, if you don't already have a product or service to sell, but you've already gained a large audience, how do you go about deciding what to sell that people will want or need?
Okay, so you don't have a product, but you've got a large audience. That's a great position to be in. You might want to survey them and ask them what are they interested in. If you're sending emails, look at which emails are people responding to. So everybody cultivates a different following, and different followings respond differently to different offerings. So I would start with doing a survey and say, hey, what are you interested in? And then give them some multiple choices, and then see what they say.
Okay. Tony and Chuck were asking what membership plugin you use or suggest, and then Chuck was also asking for a theme.
Membership plugin, I think that link is in the PDF I'm going to send out. I'm using Wishlist Member, and you can find that at christinasresources.com/wishlist, and I believe that is in the PDF that we're going to send out. So we're going to send a PDF with a whole bunch of resources.
Okay, and then Chuck was asking what theme you use.
I use multiple themes, so I'm using multiple themes.
Okay.
I'm using multiple themes. On my blog, I'm using Divi, the Divi theme. So, Joanna, I'm going to ask you to only read out questions covering what I covered. So I
Okay.
don't want to get too far off track. I'm going to talk about Divi in my training in a couple of weeks. So if you liked this training, do sign up for the next one. And that will come out in an email to you. You can find it at website creation. Let me get there. Sorry, don't get dizzy as I go to the end. Websitecreationclass.com/, that should be plural, webinars, because I've got two choices. So yes, we've got what about another 5-6 minutes for this call. I promised a 75-minute call. I don't want to go over, but these are really, really good questions. But let's keep them to sort of this big picture of what I've covered today.
Okay, Gert was asking, how do you avoid people considering your emails as spam?
Spam, let's define what spam is. Spam is when somebody did not opt in to your email list. So if you buy an email list and email somebody who never opted in, that's spam. People get confused and they think spam is emails that you don't like, right? So you are here on my call, you've opted in for this training. I keep my emails about, building an online business. If I started emailing you about casino gambling, in a way, that's spam. So how to avoid what people consider emails about spam, just write good headlines. But you're not going to be able to please everybody, Gert. Just know that. But the technical term for spam is when you get an email that you never opted in for. So sometimes people will mark your emails as spam, like it happens to me, just because they didn't like the headline. So if you get an email from me, you don't like the headline, just delete it. Oh, how won't it
Okay.
go in? Oh, okay, Linda, she said she thinks she was asking how won't it go into the spam folder. That's hard to avoid, having emails go into the spam folder, because there's lots of different criteria. So the best way is to train people to put your emails into their primary folder.
Okay, and then Sherry says, I have a list of people who have purchased from me in the past years. If I send them emails, would that be considered spam?
Um, you'll have to warm your list back up. So if you've got a list of people who purchased from you a long time ago, you might want to send a gentle email like, hey, this is Sherry, I'm back. I took off a few years because I had a baby or whatever. I moved to Europe or I went on a safari or whatever, and I'm back and this is what I'm doing now, and I'm going to start emailing you again. So it's not really spam, but you'll just have to be gentle when you warm them back up.
Okay. And then Jamie had the question earlier about the sales funnel. She put in a follow-up. So she says, regarding the sales funnel, so it doesn't necessarily involve upsells. I really don't like it when I buy something, then have to go through 6 more offers to get my product.
Yeah, I don't do that either. It is a technique that works. GoDaddy is famous for that, where after you buy a domain name, they're constantly upselling you to other things. So you don't have to have an upsell, but upsells do work. So for example, if you bought a camera and then on the next page it's like, do you want a case for your camera? Well, that's a great upsell because I bought this camera. Yeah, I probably do want a case for my camera. But if you buy a camera and then do you want a trip to Hawaii? I'm not so, not so sure about that. So just for yourself, do what makes sense.
Okay, and then I know you mentioned during the call that you could cover more about affiliate marketing later, but Denise was asking, could you give more details on establishing an online presence that supports affiliate marketing, and is it a different approach to build an online presence when you are working as an affiliate rather than having your own physical products?
Being an affiliate is a great is a being an affiliate is a great way to make money online. It takes a long time. If you're going to be an affiliate only, it takes a long time. You've got to build up a presence. So for those of you who are interested in being an affiliate marketer, and I apologize to the people who don't know what an affiliate marketer is, because I hadn't prepared to go into that, but you need to be a good writer. So if you want to be an affiliate marketer, you should be a good writer, because that's what you're going to be doing a lot, is a lot of writing. So that's kind of the short answers. Be good at writing.
Okay, and then Becky was just wondering, do you have a training on how to do affiliate selling?
I don't, I'm not for sale right now, so, but that
Okay.
was a great idea.
Okay.
I don't have that at the moment, but I will look into that. And oh, I just want to call out to Lauren. So Lauren saw the announcement for this call today on Twitter. So Lauren, if you're still here, were you not on my email list before? Did you just come from Twitter? So that is, I'm just, if you can answer. Sherry's also interested in a class on affiliate marketing. So you just saw it on Twitter. Awesome. So let me go back to perfect example of Lauren saw me post on Twitter, was not on my email list, and signed up for today's webinar, just being from Twitter. So now Lauren is on my email list. So Lauren saw me at Twitter, drove to my website, opted in. Now Lauren's on my email list. So now, Lauren will get more emails from me. And, oh, you did take my course. Okay. But that's how Lauren saw this. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's see. We're almost out of time. Boy, we have a bunch of people who said they're interested in learning affiliate marketing. All right, I am going to take a look at that.
Okay. Um, Doris says, what is your advice on video marketing compared with email marketing for lead generation? I'm not sure if that fits in with the scope of what you covered
It
today.
sort of does, because video marketing is kind of it's a YouTube strategy. I think that's what they're talking about. So video marketing, if you are good, for most people making videos is not easy. If making videos is easy for you, you're talented, you're really good at that, it's a great strategy. So some people are attracted to videos, some people are attracted to words. So I hope I'm answering the question, but that is a good strategy if that's something you're good at. And YouTube is free and has tons of people on it. Tons of people are on YouTube. And there's also and you can put videos on Facebook, you can put videos other places, but I think of YouTube when I think of videos.
Okay. Salima says, what product would you start with if you were starting an online business?
What product would I start with if I'm starting an online business? I would start with the product that you that you have a lot of knowledge at, that you could sell. So that's basically creating an info product. So if you want to create your own product, make something that you're good at in the format that you're good at delivering. The other thing to do, but it takes longer to make a living at it, is as an affiliate marketer, you can recommend other people's programs and make money that way. But that takes longer to do. So I think a good way to start out, say you came from the corporate world, is to be a consultant. Maybe you're already a consultant. It's pretty hard for me to generically answer that question. But I would pick a topic you know well, and deliver it in the format that's fast for you. So if video is hard for you, don't do video. Make it a PDF or do a teleseminar training. So hopefully that answers. But start with a format that's fastest for you.
Okay, and then Susan was asking about Traffic Wave. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
I'm not familiar with Traffic Wave.
Okay, I think that's pretty much all the questions about, your presentation today.
Okay.
And we had a lot of people saying, thank you, love your classes, thank you very much. Great presentation. So it was a great call.
Okay. Well, I enjoyed doing it, and I got some new ideas, and so which is awesome. I didn't realize affiliate training was something that so many people would be interested in, and so I've written that note down. We are going to be emailing out the PDF that goes with this and the link to the recording, so watch your email. This should have an S on it because I have multiple webinars, but watch your email for the training on the website creation workshop program. It's going to be starting registration in just a couple of weeks. And thank you to Joanna and everybody else on my team. My name is Christina Hills, and to those of you who've never been on a call with me before, I hope you enjoyed it. You can see I teach with visuals. Hopefully you didn't get too dizzy when I was spinning around on the PowerPoint today. But again, my name is Christina Hills, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.